Hey, I'm Kevin VanDam, and you know, I grew up fishing in Michigan, and I love fishing, you know, up north in the Clearwater lakes. And I learned a long time ago that a jerkbait is just lights out for really finding bass and triggering fish that don't necessarily want to bite. And people think of it as, you know, really a springtime bait, but for me, it's something that I use all season long. You know, anytime you got clear enough water that the bass can see your lure, and you got bass in that depth zone, you're going to be able to catch them with a jerkbait. And that, for us in the north, is really almost any time of the year. The two best times when you have big populations of big bass, though, up in the shallows where they can see that bait, that's spring and fall, without a doubt. And when I say up in the shallows, if you can see the bottom in 20 foot, that's plenty good, because as long as that fish can see your jerkbait, you can call them to it. And that's what I love about a jerkbait. There's not a lure in my tackle box that I can pull a bass farther to come up and bite it. Now the fall is a key time because, you know, the forage has had all year to grow. You know, the bait fish, whether you're fishing a big open body of water that's got, you know, smelt, ciscos, alewives, shad, things like that, or an inland lake that doesn't have forage like that, you know, the primary forage is just bluegills. Everything is bigger this time of year, so I like to use bigger jerkbaits. You know, the colder the water it gets, I really try to think of the fish's metabolism and the way that I'm going to work that lure. The clearer the water, the more action I like to put in it also. Make a long cast, and anytime I've got a choice of either fishing where the wind's at or there's no wind, I always want to be where the wind's at. The bass are always going to be more aggressive, and typically they're going to be looking up, and that's what you want when you're fishing a jerkbait. So make a real long cast. I'm going to start my retrieve, and erratic is what you want. You know, people ask me all the time, what cadence do you use with a jerkbait? Do you jerk it hard, soft? Do you jerk it short, long? What I try to do is experiment on every given day and let the bass tell me what they want. You know, I'm going to start out, though, with a pretty erratic retrieve. The main thing with a jerkbait is to always start and finish with slack in your line, no matter whatever the cadence that you're using. You want to start and finish with slack. That's going to allow that bait the most side-to-side action. You know, without a doubt, my favorite bait for the fall is a Strike King Wild Shiner. You know, I'm going to choose a color that matches the forage in the lake. In a lot of cases, man, it's hard to beat a chrome sexy shad color. You know, the lakes I fish, they're big water lakes. They have smelt, alewives, shad, things like that. And that chrome sexy shad really imitates all those really well. So something like that on a sunny day gives off a lot of flash. Just experiment with the cadence. The colder the water, the longer the pause. The warmer the water, the more active the retrieve is going to be. Let the fish tell you what they want, because I'm going to tell you, jerkbaits are awesome. Whether you're fishing for largemouth, smallmouth, spotted bass, whatever, north to south, you can't hardly beat a jerkbait.